Welcome, everyone. Welcome. We'll give everybody a few minutes to come on in, but welcome to our Crypto 101 and non-cash asset fundraising webinar. I hope everybody is having a great Tuesday, whether you just celebrated a holiday, you're about to celebrate a holiday, or you're not interested at all in celebrating a holiday. Everybody's welcome. So just give everybody a moment here. Right. Just a few housekeeping items while we wait for everybody. It is 3 p.m. Eastern Time. This call is being recorded. It'll go out to all of you in the next few days. As we go, please drop any questions in the chat. I'll answer as many as I can towards the end of the presentation. Full disclosure, I did have too much coffee this morning. I have since switched to tea, so I apologize in advance if I go too fast. While we wait, if everybody could just hop into the chat and let us know who you are, where you're from, and since it's the holidays, let us know whether you're Team Chocolate or Team White Chocolate, or for bonus points, Team Peppermint. I want to get really crazy. So while we wait, other is completely acceptable. If you're Team Baklava, if you're Team, insert your own dessert here. So whatever your preferred dessert is, pop it in the chat. That'll be your team for the holidays. All right, Christine, points for white chocolate. Oh, Brandon, mixing it up, chocolate and ice cream. You really can't go wrong. I can't be mad at you. That's an excellent choice. Give folks a little bit more time. Sarah with the peanut butter, Team Chocolate and peanut butter. Respect for peanut butter. All right, while we wait for everybody else to choose their team, I'll introduce myself. My name is Ryan Fox. I actually joined the Giving Block as a crypto user, so it's a topic near and dear to my heart. I love helping nonprofits benefit from this world and life-changing technology. Also, pistachio croissants, Sheena from the UK. Leave it to somebody from London to really drop the cool one in there. And pumpkin pie, Gary. You're never out of season for pumpkin pie. It doesn't matter if it's after, October, November, if it's before October, November, if it's the middle of June. It's always a good time for pumpkin pie, especially pumpkin pie and ice cream. So I salute you. All right. I think we have just about everybody that we're going to get today. And again, happy holidays, whatever your holiday might be, even if it's none. Happy no holiday to you, if that's what you choose, or happy holiday to you. My goal today is to get all of you, whether you're Team Chocolate, White Chocolate, Pumpkin Pie, Pistachio Croissant, my goal is to get you comfortable with some crypto basics. I'll give you a high-level overview of non-cash asset fundraising. So let me go ahead and just share my screen here so you can all see what I'm seeing. All right. So we'll talk about diversifying your donations. This is an introduction to non-cash asset fundraising, right? Right. Of course, now I get the technical difficulties right as I go to present, right? Story of my life. Okay. So let's just dive in. Talk a little bit about the Giving Block, who we are. So the Giving Block is the leading crypto philanthropy platform connecting nonprofits. Sorry, I'm trying to use my hands here. I'm going too low. Nonprofits and non-cash asset donors. So we are the best at two things. The first is equipping nonprofits with the technology, strategy, and support to securely and effectively fundraise these assets. And then two, empowering donors to easily give these assets to the nonprofits that they love worldwide. So we developed the first all-in-one fundraising solution to securely accept crypto stock and donor advised fund donations. What really makes us unique is that we provide expert education, strategic guidance, and technical support to maximize our clients' fundraising outcomes. Our unique giving platform connects donors with thousands of vetted nonprofits, and it all happens in a few clicks. So we're actually going to start off with a poll. Let me see here. So our first poll, we're just going to find out what is the biggest priority for your fundraising team right now. There's a few options here. So just go ahead and take a moment to let us know if you are here to find out about new donor acquisition. If you're specifically trying to do what it says on the tin, diversify revenue. We have some folks that are looking to increase gift size. Spoiler alert, they're in the right place. Building out their social media presence. So we have some people that are thinking a few steps ahead, attracting younger donors. Excellent, excellent. Looks like new donor acquisition and diversifying revenue are neck and neck. New donor acquisition appears to be the leader today. So not a surprise, especially it's the holidays. Nonprofits in the US are seeing the tax deadline for donations come up at the end of this month. So it's a time when we're all keenly aware of who is and who is not donating. And this is often one of the busiest times of the year for you guys. So if you're not seeing as many donations as you think you're capable of, naturally, your mind turns to new donor acquisition. This, of course, goes hand in hand with the folks that are looking to attract younger donors, who are going to do so by building out their social media presence, and in the end, increase gift size and diversify revenue. You see how I did that? We're all in one. Okay. So just going to share these results so you guys can all see what I'm seeing. So it looks like new donor acquisition is top of mind, and then diversifying revenue. Okay. So let's go to our first slide so we can talk about the agenda, the first real meat slide, right? The rest of it was all kind of the wrapping. Now we're getting into the gift, to use a metaphor. So a quick outline of our webinar today. First, we'll be seeing fundraising with non-cash assets. Then we'll get more into the opportunity of crypto stock and donor advised fund. We'll talk about how it works. We'll talk about some trends in 2023 philanthropy, some interesting insights from our annual report. And then finally, I'll give you some of our key takeaways for this style of fundraising. So we'll start with the basics, right? This is the state of philanthropy as we see it. Giving, when adjusted for inflation, is down 10.5%. So the number of donors is actually going down. However, there's a little caveat here. The average gift size is up. So we're seeing a larger impact from a smaller number of donors. It's kind of interesting. Inflation rates are high. However, I think we're all conscious of that, even though they've apparently been somewhat tamed. But this tends to put individual giving at risk and makes people a little bit more aware of where their dollars are going, because they've got to allocate more of it to their daily needs, right? So often leaves a lot of people in a position where many nonprofits are vying for their attention. So this is why we talk about diversifying your fundraising being so critical, so that you're not reliant on the same folks that are being advertised to by every other nonprofit that you can think of. So why do you actually want to diversify your fundraising? There are about $250 billion going into donor advised funds, with about 80% of it unaccounted for. So that is all money that's available to be granted out that no nonprofit has currently gotten as a grant. This tends to make nonprofits, when they do cultivate these kinds of gifts, a little bit more future-proof. Major gifts and planned giving are the most recession-proof giving channels. So when you accept modern non-cash gifts, you build a future-proof program with a younger, high net worth donor base. However, it's not enough to put up a button and walk away. You must ask. Younger investors don't work with wealth and tax advisors. Most of us are on our phones. We're on Robinhood. We're on Webull. I don't even know if that still exists. We're trading stocks. We're trading crypto. We're doing it all from our phones. We don't have an advisor to talk to us about the tax benefits. So that means that you have to ask, and you have to know how to ask. So what are you asking for? Well, when we talk about non-cash assets, we're talking about cryptocurrency and stock. And we tend to fold donor advised fund into this because the same types of people make similar lifestyle choices and tend to hold crypto, stock, and donor advised fund. So my favorite, another quick poll. Which non-cash assets are you currently accepting? So for the folks here, what are you accepting right now? Are you accepting crypto? Are you accepting donor advised fund? Are you accepting stock? All of the above, none of the above, some of the above. So let me know. Let's see where everybody is at. We have a little bit of stock and crypto, a little bit of donor advised fund, but it seems like the vast majority are not yet accepting non-cash gifts. We'll just give it another moment. I would play some Jeopardy music here, but I think it's copyrighted, and I don't want to get hit with a one of those copyright strikes. Just know that in my head it's playing. I'm probably dating myself when I say Jeopardy, but that's okay. I'm embracing my grays. Give it just another moment. Just a couple of you that have not clicked a button. Go ahead, don't be shy. Let us know what you're fundraising right now. If you don't know, well, then you don't know. Can't be mad at you. All right. I think that is everybody who is going to, oh, we had somebody slide in right at the finish line. So as you can see, the vast majority of the participants in this webinar are not currently raising stock or crypto or donor advised fund. So that means the good news is you all have a huge opportunity. There is an extremely easy set of low-hanging fruit that you can now go after as donations for your nonprofit that are widely used and accepted, but you're just not having a conversation about them yet. So good news, actually. All right. So plenty of room for improvement. And let's talk about what it is that we're advising you to raise, right? When we talk about crypto, what the heck is crypto? This is a part where I sometimes will lose folks, so I'm not going to get way out into the weeds here. I try to keep this really high level. The easiest way for me to explain crypto is that it is a digital store of value. It works almost like digital money. To transfer units of cryptocurrency, users need a digital wallet, and that's what sends and receives crypto. In a basic way, you can think of a digital wallet as being like a bank account that you own personally and operate personally rather than paying a bank to keep the account for you. So one of the most incredible things about crypto is that you can send it anywhere in the world in a number of seconds. So if I send crypto from my wallet, it can reach Ukraine, Uganda, in just about the same amount of time. It's going to be a matter of minutes. As long as they have an internet connection, a farmer in the deep of Africa can receive Bitcoin from me right here in New York, in just a couple of minutes. So really easy to transfer. The supply itself doesn't change. It can't be counterfeited. And the transaction records are public and they don't change. So the blockchain, people talk about a blockchain for a cryptocurrency, is just that public record. So all the transactions that are happening in that currency are a part of that record, and everybody can see it. So it's impossible to fake a transaction. So some really convenient and important things for money, right? When we talk about money. Now, the scale of these users, the number of people using cryptocurrency might be a surprise, especially since a lot of you are not currently accepting it. There is a really active user base. It's got about 300 million active users. That's just a little bit less than the entirety of the United States of America. For those of you who are here, for Pistachio Croissant in London, we got a lot of folks. It's just about all of our population. 330 million is our total. So just kind of let that marinate for a second. We have here just a view into just one cryptocurrency exchange, one of the popular ones here in the United States. Coinbase has 108 million users. Fidelity Charitable only has 83.4 million. Charles Schwab only has 33.9 million. So the number of active crypto users absolutely dwarfs active stock users. It is a great donor demographic to tap into. And these users are active. They are trading. So stablecoin settlements, which I'll explain in a second, these passed $7 trillion in 2022. MasterCard was only 2.2 trillion. Think about all of those MasterCard transactions. Now, stablecoins, for anybody who is new to crypto or new to stablecoins, they're just a one-to-one value with the US dollar. So think of them as dollars in crypto. Now, in 2021, we go back another year, we had Ethereum, that's a very popular cryptocurrency. They transacted over $11 trillion. They blew past Visa, who had a measly 10.4 trillion during the same period. So I know a lot of you are used to the idea of crypto as an investment where people buy and hold it, but just understand that people are extraordinarily active in trading their cryptocurrency. And that's key because, and we'll come back to this later, it can create a tax burden for them that you're going to help them solve. So let's get a little bit deeper into this user base. We have about 94% of crypto users are millennial and Gen Z. 83% of millennial millionaires invest in crypto. The average crypto user's income is right around $111,000 a year, much higher than the national average. So not only are they young, but they're also wealthy and tech savvy and financially literate, and they're super engaged in their social media. The folks who are here to talk about building out social media are probably aware of that. So a lot of your nonprofits have a donor base that's probably slowly aging out. Crypto provides you with multiple future generations of untapped potential. So just to sum up, crypto donors are generous, they're young, and they're wealthy, right? They tend to give more than the average. So what we've seen, in fact, Fidelity did a great study last year. They found that crypto donors are more likely to donate over $1,000 as opposed to their stock investors. So 45% are likely to donate $1,000 or more. The average crypto donor is, in fact, in their 30s, probably quite a bit different than the age of your existing donors. Very common for nonprofits to say, I don't have any donors in their 20s or 30s. I don't have any donors on the younger side. Totally normal. Most nonprofits don't. So the whole point of accepting crypto is to break into this new donor demographic. These tend to be net new donors, net new dollars. We're finding that a lot of these donors are giving in crypto because of the tax benefit. They're probably not your current donors. There are people searching donate Bitcoin, donate crypto in Google. They're looking for a place to make a charitable gift. For a lot of the younger generations, a lot of their net worth, their wealth, it's stored in crypto day to day. So it's a huge convenience factor for them not to have to cash that out to dollars to donate to you. And it's also a tax incentive. So the result of these factors is a much, much higher than average donation size for crypto users, a staggering 10.5 thousand. So if you could build out like the perfect donor in a lab, this is your perfect donor. It would be a crypto donor. So if you steward this crypto donor, this mega donor, for the years to come, you steward them properly, you can retain them indefinitely because you created that relationship at a time that nobody else was speaking to them about crypto. There's still very few nonprofits doing this. And let's face it, the great wealth transfer has started. The millennials and Gen Zs are going to be inheriting, somewhere around $70 trillion. That's with a T. So you might want to meet these donors where they are and be ready to accept the assets that they want to give. Actually, this is quite old. I apologize. This needs to be updated. Year to date, we are Well, you know what? Let me check this in real time. Shh, don't tell anybody I did this. So year to date, Bitcoin is actually now over double this. Year to date, we are up 163.95%. Absolutely staggering, right? Versus the market, which doesn't even come close. So even a month or two ago, when we were only at 72%, we were dwarfing the NASDAQ, which was just below 30%, dwarfing the S&P, which is just below 14%. So I know there have been a lot of crazy headlines flying around in recent months, right? Bitcoin has been declared dead, like something like 400 times. This is nothing new. It's fluctuated up and down 30%, 16 times or more. But this is what makes it the most tax efficient way to give. The math will tell you that even though it's currently a little bit below its all-time high at around 60,000, that it's still up from the beginning of this year 160+%. So even if, in fact, even if you got it just a few years ago, it's still up higher than most stock. So millions of people are way up on their Bitcoin investment. This gives you an idea about why volatility is not always a bad thing. This price driving up and down is what gives people the incentive to donate. So where we've blown past where we were last year, and we're blowing all the other parts of the market out of the water, just plain and simple, which makes it no surprise that people want to donate it. So these are some Google Analytics. In 2020, we had more people Googling the term donate stocks than Googling the term donate Bitcoin, right? This is where we start. Over these years, you can actually see by 2022, donate stocks and donate Bitcoin are right about equal. So at the current trajectory, you can see donate Bitcoin passing donate stocks in the near future. Relative to the amount of nonprofits that allow donors to donate stock, crypto donors just don't have as many options, even though there's more of them searching for it. So it is, in effect, a less competitive market. There are more crypto users for every nonprofit accepting it than there are stock users for every nonprofit accepting that. And then we also have donor advised funds, which are just rising more and more. So just a quick kind of point of order here. A donor advised fund is a fund that allows donors to establish and fund an account by making irrevocable tax-deductible contributions to a charitable sponsor, and they're self-directed. So that means that they can grant that money out over time, but they get the tax benefit right away. DAFs have grown exponentially in recent years. The chart here is from the National Philanthropic Trust's recent annual report. So some huge numbers. Contributions to DAFs in 2021 totaled just a little bit more than 72 billion, the highest ever. That passed the 2020 value of just a little bit shy of 50 billion. It's a 46.6 year-over-year increase. That's massive. So a lot of money is locked up in these donor advised funds. And the grant payouts have been increasing, which is what we want. We want that money put to use. 2021's payout rate was around 27.3%, highest grant payout rate on record. Grants from DAFs to charitable organizations reached a new high at 45 billion. Charitable assets in all DAFs totaled $234 billion in 2021. So there is a lot of that money, again, that has not been granted out because nobody's asking about it. So just to show you the potential for consistent charitable support that DAF donors can provide, there is a huge wellspring of funds here. And stock, let's talk a little bit about stock. So it actually looked like most of you are not currently accepting stock donations. Now, this is still the most common non-cash asset that charities accept. It's definitely the most popular. It's the sort of traditional finance. Huge opportunity, right? Over $100 billion donated in stock just last year, and the vast majority of American wealth is tied up in the market. Now, donors have different amounts to give. These markets have different sizes. So the crypto market is about $1 trillion, whereas for stocks it's about 46 trillion. In the US, we have about 60 million crypto users versus about 145 million stock users. In 2022, we saw about $69 million donated in crypto, but $100 billion donated in stock. Again, big opportunity there, but more nonprofits accepting stock, so it offsets a little bit. And the average gift size for crypto is about $6,500. For stocks, it varies. It ranges from about $5,000 to $10,000. You get a little bit more of a range. Now, the question becomes, of course, who is donating what? So if you have a baby boomer donor, it's likely that they're donating stocks. They're probably reaching out. They'll talk to you about it. They'll take the extra steps. Same with Gen X, a little bit more stock. And then once we get to millennials, now we're starting to mix it up. We've got crypto and stock. But the flip side is that I'm a millennial, for better or worse, we tend to be a little bit more finicky. So we are not going to reach out as often. And it's much more likely that we just want to do this from the comfort of our phone, of our home. And then once you get to Gen Z, now, again, crypto and stock, now you really have these folks drop off when you ask them to do stuff. It's just the easiest way that I can put it. So by generation, as we get younger, we get much more likely to prefer giving in crypto and stock as opposed to just stock. So again, I want to come back to this because I can't talk about it enough. The average donation size for cash is around $128 in 2022, last year. The average stock donation, again, $5,000 to $10,000. Crypto, $6,500. We are talking exponentially higher donation amounts in non-cash assets. So you can see receiving a non-cash gift is dramatically more impactful for your nonprofit. But why is this so popular? I've hinted at this, I've alluded to it a few times. Let's talk tax deductibility. So it's compelling, I think, to look at why people are giving in these different ways. So there's different benefits by donation type. If you're giving in cash, you can write off your donation. If you're giving in stock or crypto, you can write off your donation and the appreciation on your donations, which means no capital gains tax. So a donor could give up to 30% more with a non-cash gift. And these gifts, as we just saw, in crypto and stock will be primarily major gifts. So your gift will be that much bigger if the donor doesn't have to pay capital gains. We're talking 30% more of a major gift. So this is a big part of the tax incentives when donating crypto or stock. Both are considered property assets by the IRS. So any of the capital gains that are associated, the gain in value, can be sent to a charity. So it's extremely tax efficient, and it's better to give in cash. It's a win-win for the donor and the nonprofit. The donor gets to do more good. The nonprofit gets funds that otherwise would have just gone to tax. So you can kind of see an example of this side by side. If I were to give $1 million in crypto to your charity, you'd get the $1 million, net the fees, right? Really straightforward. But if you tell me, I'm sorry, we can't accept that $1 million in crypto, you need to cash it out to dollars and give us the dollars. Well, now more than a quarter of it becomes taxes. And that's money that could have gone directly to the nonprofit. So just to let you internalize what a difference it makes when they don't have to stop and put it into cash first. Now, who is doing this? Who is fundraising this way? We keep talking about how great it is, but who's taking us up on it, right? A lot of nonprofits think that this stuff is kind of fringe. As you can see here, it's not. So you can see from some of the logos that we work with, hospital foundations, community foundations, humanitarian organizations, you would be floored to see how many well-known nonprofits are already accepting crypto. We work with over 2,000 organizations from St. Jude and United Way, all the way down to local, smaller size nonprofits, ones with a regional reach at most. So nearly 75% of our organizations are small to medium sized. And we built hundreds of successful crypto fundraising programs who raise over 6 figures a year. So just know that we work with all sizes, and these nonprofits have realized the benefit of diversifying revenue, and they're starting to cater toward the younger digital native philanthropist. So that's now, where are we going? So a little bit of a deeper focus on this tax education part. Even though so many individuals hold stock in crypto, as I said earlier, a lot of us are on our phones. We're just not that savvy or knowledgeable about the most tax efficient way to give. Education is a key to unlocking these larger gifts. So as we continue to expand and share the tax incentive of donating crypto all throughout the ecosystem, and as crypto donors are learning to become more tax savvy, the amount of crypto donors is accelerating. Right? We'll connect the dots. So the great wealth transfer, it's already started. It's happening. It'll accelerate into the future. 83% of millennial millionaires have crypto. And there's $70 trillion that we're going to see go into the hands of Gen Z and millennials with these windfall wealth transfers, estate gifts, inheritance gifts. A lot of this money is predicted to flow into the crypto market. All right. Now that you're jazzed up, now that we're all pumped, let me show you how it works. So here is just a little slice of our donation experience. This is our donation form. It is conspicuously phone shaped. It's mobile optimized. It's a very simple snippet of code that you just copy and paste to get set up on your donation page. This allows your donor to select crypto stock or credit card. There is also an addition for donor advised fund that shows up as a new button. So it actually looks like 4 side by side, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if the donor wants to give stock, I don't know how many of you are familiar with handling stock donations. Normally, it's very labor intensive for the donor. So this is a game changer. The donor can give stock in a couple of clicks. It can all be completed in under a minute. And the donor doesn't need to call their broker. Everything is just handled digitally. You as the nonprofit don't have to do anything on the back end. This is a glorious and extremely time efficient way to process your gifts. All right. The donor advised fund section. This is a neat one. We have an integration with Chariot. So this enables donor advised funds. See, this is our little 4 square that I was talking about. This is donor advised fund. So this enables DAF donations in 3 easy clicks. So if any of you have accepted donor advised fund out there, you're probably familiar with the little guessing game, the game of Clue that starts when you get a DAF donation coming in, if it's even identifiable, right? Sometimes it's anonymous. If it's not anonymous, now you've got to do some sleuthing to track it down. So this saves you and the donors tons of time. We also have our own dashboard. So this is on the back end with all the donor information, your transaction info, all the reporting. Now we'll integrate with most CRMs, which makes this a much easier process. We'll also automate tax receipts at the time of donation. And this is with the donor file on the back end. So you can just come and here and resend them if the donor asks for it during tax season, right? Not having to sift through all of these files gives you back a lot of time. Speaking of saving time, the integrations that I mentioned, we've got integrations all throughout the ecosystem, Salesforce, Omatic, Zapier, Monday.com. So we want to make things easier and more efficient. We want to make your giving more modern, right? Okay, so this brings us to section 4. So now we've talked a little bit about the opportunity, how it works, where it's going. Let's talk about some key insights that we saw in 2023 and giving trends this year. So what we saw is that overall social impact is on the rise. In 2022 and in 2022, we saw a leap in donations in April and June. April's donations were attributed to donors wanting to make an impact in the Ukraine during the humanitarian crisis. In June, our LGBTQIA+ nonprofits for Pride Month saw a massive increase in donations. Young donors who give crypto and stocks through the Giving Block are showing that they give to causes when they feel they can make a noticeable impact with a cause they care about. This year, we're already seeing this to be true after the Syria and Turkey earthquakes, what happened in Maui. NFT creators and donors have leapt to show generosity, and we predict that these giving habits will continue strongly to close the year out. Active non-cash fundraising is what is winning here. So we're finding that people right now want to give cash, want to keep cash on hand in this economic environment, and instead they want to give assets. We still encourage you to all be actively fundraising regardless of what's going on in the market, but the most successful clients at the Giving Block are the ones who view crypto and stock donors as a new demographic to work with instead of just putting up a button and waiting for them to find them. Now, we're also seeing investment in technology. Nonprofits are pouring more resources into tools that help them spend their time more efficiently and effectively and help them scale. I'm guessing everybody here has used ChatGPT, right? We've been around for a little while now. It still blows my mind, but that's a great example of how technology is moving at an extremely fast rate. So you want to learn and embrace these new technologies before they become commonplace, before they become expected. I'm going to use warning, everybody. I'm about to use a sports metaphor, so I apologize in advance. But you need to skate to where the puck is going. Right? And I'll say that again. You need to skate to where the puck is going. Meet the donors where they are, where they're going, how they want to give. Face-to-face meetings with your donors will always be important, but as teams are looking to expand and do more, that becomes less of an option. And if you're looking to get more donors, you can't have that kind of meeting with all of them, but you can meet with them online. And tech is what will help hit those goals quicker. Now, we actually have a 2023 annual report. So this is a couple of notes from that report. We saw overall, we've tallied $125 million as of when this was created. This is actually significantly higher now as we're getting toward the end of the year. But at that point, we had $125 million in crypto donations since 2018. Even in a down year for crypto, we signed up over 1,000 nonprofits. And the founder of Ethereum, that's the crypto I was talking about earlier, his name is Vitalik Buterin, made a large charitable donation through the Giving Block worth $9.4 million to the University of Maryland last fall to help a research initiative on public health. We saw that USDC was the most donated asset. That tells us that people are keeping their wealth in crypto because these are just dollars. They're not assets that go up and down. And so we processed about 22.7 million USDC donations, US dollar coin, to charities. Right behind that was Ethereum and Bitcoin. So if you want to learn more about this report, it is available at thegivingblock.com. So those are a couple of our data points. Let's talk about what you can take away from this presentation. The sum total of our accumulated knowledge since 2018 and how you can run a successful crypto philanthropy program. So step one is make it easy, right? Make it easy for your team, not just the donor. Revenue is not the same as ROI. You should not have to hire an additional person on your team just to generate more revenue. Instead, let us do it. Outsource it all to us. We're offering the product and technology to make this really easy for you. We automate receipting, we convert to dollars, we handle the reporting, we act as an extension of your development team. You don't have to handle all the complexities of crypto because we've got it covered. Two, don't neglect your donors' needs. This is a non-traditional, it's a new way of fundraising. So like a broken record, you need to meet these donors where they're at. You need to talk to them the way they want to be spoken to. You need to learn their language to communicate effectively. And then three, don't just accept these, fundraise with these. So we're extremely focused on helping you fundraise actively. We don't want you, the joke is, we don't want you spelling Bitcoin as two words. You'll scare off the donors. They know that that's not genuine. They know that you don't know what you're talking about. So we want to help you with our best practices. We want to show you that it pays to be active in the community, active on social media, plug into new groups. A little bit of effort goes a long way here. And that you can't just throw a donate crypto button on the page and expect the gifts to come rolling in. You need to activate these donors. You need to create some strategy around your crypto philanthropy program if you want to see results. Lucky you, we know how to do that. Our goal is to help you save time and maximize revenue. Now, doesn't that sound good? I know everybody hates saving time. Maximizing revenue is the worst. So if you have questions about this, here's how you get started. So you can talk to us. You can prepare for your own internal conversation. Once you guys approve it, you just open your exchange account with us. It's about a week. It's really easy. We'll help you create your non-cash, donate non-cash assets page. We'll give you a whole guide for it. We'll help you check it. We'll show you how to publicly announce that you accept crypto stock and DAF. And then you can even, if you want to, choose a plan that allows you to work directly with strategists here to earn, convert, and steward these non-cash donors. So if you want a full demo of the platform, I have a QR code that I'm going to pop up in just a moment that, or you can drop a link. I'm sorry, you can respond to this poll, and that will allow us to help you book a demo. But let me launch our final poll. So I know everybody is super excited. I can feel the energy through the laptop, but just want to see who is ready after this conversation to chat with somebody. Take a moment. I'm going to replenish with tea. It is green tea, so there's still some caffeine in here. It is what it is. Very cool. All right. So I think that is everyone. I'm going to go ahead and end this poll. Let's pop up our QR code. This will take you to the Giving Blocks website. If you're an eager beaver, you can always use that to book a demo directly. But I just wanted to say thank you all. I hope you enjoyed this extra special pistachio croissant flavored webinar for the holidays. And I would be excited if you wanted to meet with a member of our team. I think that would be a lot of fun. Let's see if we've got anybody in the chat. Okay. So Wambui, we are working with organizations all across Africa. If you want to get in touch, then we'd be happy to show you where we're working with them. You can actually go right to the Giving Block website and select Africa or countries within Africa and see who we're working with. Thank you, Romain. I very much appreciate it. Jackie, you absolutely can. We can reach out to you as a as a result of this. If you guys just scan that QR code, it'll take you to the page, and if you can't wait, you can book a demo right now. So that'll give you a place that you can just hop on over and get in touch with somebody. My name is Ryan. I'm Ryan Fox. You can always email me. I'll just put this in the chat. I am Ryan.Fox. I'm gonna make sure I spelled it right. At thegivingblock.com. Gary, if you want to connect with me or somebody on the team, we are happy to chat through it. But I think for a one-page fact sheet, you probably can use the website itself to present, or you'll get a copy of this presentation that you can use. So I don't have it as a one sheet, but I do think that there is something for you to use on the website. So my email is in the chat. If anybody wants to reach me directly, I'm happy to chat and answer questions, refer you to somebody who can speak to you more about the actual product. Full disclosure, it may end up being me, but have to go through all the process. That was it. This presentation, again, was recorded. So if one of your colleagues couldn't attend, you want to present, we are here to help you. Brandon, if you want to shoot me an email at the email that I dropped in the chat, ryan.fox@thegivingblock.com, I am happy to help. Oh, hold on one second. There we go. Make sure I didn't spell anything incorrectly. There we go. Okay. Apologies. I have to remember when I'm transitioning between Zoom and Google Meets and Teams, all of them are a little bit different. So that's my email address. If you have questions, I'm happy to help. It is the holidays, so I'll be in and out. But if you shoot me a message today, then I should be able to respond by tomorrow and at least get you started with, whatever it is that you need. But otherwise, we will look forward to following up and reaching out and scheduling some demos for those of you who are looking to schedule some demos. And just, again, want to thank everybody for spending your time with me today. It has been a wonderful 45 minutes. I will give you back 15 minutes so that you can all go have some holiday cheer or non-holiday cheer, as the case may be. And I look forward to chatting with anybody who has questions soon. I hope you all have a lovely day and a lovely week and a lovely month. And most of all, a lovely year. Thanks very much, everybody. Take care.